Aquarius. It's Lynn from Tinker Tarot and Cartomancy. I'm here to do your July 2025 reading. I have it all laid out. I had a little look at it, and it looks like you're coming through a cycle here. You know, you're about halfway through this big chapter in your life, okay? You're still in the middle of it, kind of thing, is what it looks like to me. Where you start out. Oh, this is the seventh month, and July is named after Julius Caesar, who invented the calendar and that we still use today, and many other things. He was quite an inventor or a genius, really. Didn't really get enough credit for his mind, in my opinion. But I'm using the transparent tarot, by the way, the Morgan Greer tarot, and the cartomancy is the playing cards. So let's see what we got here. So you start out with the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is like the fight or flight card. And you can see he's up against many opponents or many things, many challenges. And he's trying to, like, you may be fighting something. You may be fighting others' opinions or how you're doing something or not doing it, or the action you're taking. You're fighting others' actions, perhaps. And you may continue to fight in the situation, but you also may continue to withdraw and figure it's just not worth all of this energy. I can't fight everyone, kind of thing. So it's a fight or flight card. And then you have, the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords means there's been some sort of, for one, communication breakdown, not able to communicate with each other. Um, how you're talking or how you're hearing what they're saying is just, you can't understand it, or you don't believe it either. There could be lies in this situation, and so it's another reason you may withdraw from it, thinking, I can't argue with this. I can't defend myself, perhaps, in this situation, because some of it you just don't believe. Okay. You also have the King of Cups. And so you may have a water sign around you, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. This might be the person of interest who you're in love with or who you're romantically involved with. It also could be a family member, someone you're close to, very close to. And so this person may be supporting you in this situation, because King of Cups is usually very supportive. The one thing about the King of Cups, like, the King of Cups wants to find love, and loves to be in love. However, there's something they hold back. They don't give all of themselves. And it might be something important to you, I don't know, but there's something they hold back. They don't give that part of themselves. That's the thing about the king, eh? Part of it's because he's had relationships, learned, or she has had relationships, learned about love, um, and is maybe a little protective of themselves, from that experience. But it looks like you're trying to work something out with this person. There's a lot of talk, a lot of talk of how to make something work. Okay. And this could be a reconnection with someone from the past, but it looks like it's working things out. Also, this could have been you and the King of Cups. Perhaps you couldn't fight all this enemy, whatever the enemy was, and you couldn't really get along. You couldn't communicate. You couldn't see eye to eye, and but at this time you're trying to work things out. You're talking, trying to work it out and figure it out. Okay. So in your recent past, you have, first I'm going to do the transparent cards. So you start with the Nine of Swords. So something's getting to you, getting in your head, disrupting your sleep, giving you a lot of anxiety, something that's going on in your life. And um, then you have the Wheel of Fortune. And I like in these cards, it's the medicine wheel because it means that we're out of balance in some way. We're out of balance. And so this person is struggling over in this area. And this area is the rebellious side where we fight something, we resist it, and it's also a parental side where we have to try and guide someone. Maybe they won't listen, trying to prevent someone from making mistakes. And it's very difficult to try and manage something when it's unmanageable. It's a difficult time anyway. But there's nothing over on this side of the wheel, which is our spiritual side, which is our mental side, using our head, our wisdom. So I feel something about to change, and the situation has changed. I believe there's been a change in the situation. Okay. This card keeps sticking to my elbow. And then you have what number is this one again? The 8. So the 8 of Pentacles. And so this is something that you're trying to work on. You're trying to work out. You're trying to bring in some more spiritual into your life. You're trying to start something new. Okay, begin again. And you're working at trying to work out. And I also think you're trying to heal from what's gotten to you, what's bothering you, what's going wrong in the situation. It feels like in some ways it's out of your control, and I think it's out of your control the way you're currently doing it. And I think if you start taking a more spiritual, loving, new approach, there's something that could be worked on. Okay. So let me just put those back. I got to keep it in order or I get all mixed up. So those go there, those go there. Now, also in the past, in the Morgan Greer, you have the 5 of clubs. And this is competition. This is, competing with others' ideas or theories or methods. And it's everyone's talking and no one's listening. I like to call it that card, where everyone's talking but no one's listening. And so eventually things break down. They were bound to anyway because the foundation was cracked, unstable, not solid yet, you know. And so something falls apart, okay, in the situation. And that's probably where the wheel is changing, right? And then you have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords often needs to deliver truth that maybe is hard to deliver, hard to say, hard to hear, you know. But it's beginning conversations, starting conversation, or maybe learning a new way to speak, to talk, to relay oneself, and to listen, The Page is learning. This could also be a young person, the Page of Swords, and they're really about the truth. They want the truth. Or maybe that's what you want, the truth in the situation, because the truth is what can heal this tower. That's where you start rebuilding, is with the truth. So in the present, you have the 9 of Pentacles you start with. And the 9 of Pentacles shows you relaxing, maybe in sanctuary in some way, in your home or somewhere where you're appreciating what you have. You're Also realizing your skills and talents and where you've brought yourself to this present moment. You're realizing that you've done it all on your own, and you've accomplished something. And so you're quite comfortable where you are. And then you have the page of, yeah, the Page of Swords again. So, second time for Page of Swords, eh? And so you get a communication, you get a news, you get a truth, you get a young person perhaps contacting you, calling you, and maybe for help, maybe to speak the truth, maybe to there's something, some sort of communication coming for you, I think, okay? And then you have the Strength card, okay? Now, when I was looking your cards over and I was looking at the situation, I was kind of thinking, because in with the Strength card, it's more about composure and gentleness and trust. Trusting, even in a difficult situation, that you're scared or you're unsure. You know, this person is being gentle with the lion, reaching their hand out when it could be bit off. And the lion is also in turn trusting the other person that could kill them, that could it could be a trap in some way. And so there is strength in gentleness. It takes a lot of strength to not be mighty and pushy and demanding. Sometimes it takes strength to say, okay, let's talk. I'll listen, you know. I'll just trust that you mean what you say and you're telling the truth. I'm going to trust it. That's, you know, and so it's having faith and trust in something that might be dangerous to do. It doesn't need to be dangerous, but you know, um, I think you're trying a different approach, right? Because strong arm tactics aren't working, right? And then in the Morgan Greer, you have the Two of Pentacles, which is balancing things in your life, okay? Like that medicine wheel back there, bringing balance into your life. Also, perhaps juggling tasks that you need to do, juggling relationships, juggling your finances, because you're waiting for the ship to come in, and the ship, it could be carrying a passenger, it could be taking you somewhere. There's something you're kind of in limbo, kind of you know um waiting to see what's going to happen, and then you get a call. This is arrows in the air. This is, you're just going to see what happens. You're going to try something. You are going to travel, or you're going to get an offer which requires you to take action, immediate action. You have to say yes or no. That it's and I think it's a good opportunity. This is, especially for this situation that you're in. It's a very good idea, a good opportunity to communicate. This is really positive communication about growth and about taking action in a good way. It's really good action. And then you have the Three of Wands. And so the Three of Wands is where we're wondering what else is out there for us. How can I manifest growth in my situation? And like with the Strength card, I'll bring this thing back out. With the Strength card, that's what the what else is. We're changing how we take action, how we approach something, how we deal with it. And this is in a really gentle, trusting is a big part of it, and with composure too, not losing it. We're composed, we're like, okay. Or I don't know if that's something I can agree to. This is calm, a calm approach, right? Um, so in the future, which is near the end of July, or maybe bleeding into a little bit of August here, you have the Emperor. The Emperor. And so the Emperor is more of in control, but the Emperor doesn't make decisions for himself or herself. They make decisions that affects the community, the family, the whole everyone in the situation. It reminds me a little bit of the justice card because it's about being fair. It's about you got to think of everyone, because all our actions have a rippling effect. But it's feeling more grounded. It's feeling more in control of the situation or oneself. All right. Oh, it's funny I said that. Okay, I'll tell you in a sec. Then you have the Two of Wands, where this is partnership, cooperation, seeing eye to eye. It's bringing, it's making a plan. It's probably could be a meeting of the minds, maybe a partnership, running a business together. But at least this is a more even, mutual, respectful approach. All right. And then you have the Tower again. Okay. So, to me, what this is saying is that you need to have respect, mutual respect, fairness. Um, Make sure that both people are taking action and manifesting and, are equally committed to a situation, or it could fall apart very easily. Also, sometimes the Tower is just about sudden change. This is a sudden change, something unexpected, all right, which breaks open the confines of ideas or beliefs, what you thought you knew, what you thought it would go this way, and it didn't. And so now what do I do? So we have to come up with new ideas and concepts, but we come up with them together, kind of thing, right? Oh, so I like to show them together. So we started with the Emperor and working together. The ruler and the people decide together. It's like a democracy, I guess. And then the Tower. So I think it's important that decisions are made together, ideas are formed together, actions are formed together, because um there's some sort of, and it creates sudden change, possibly something unexpected, because the Tower isn't always a doomed card, but it is saying that build this foundation, this new land, on something solid and fair and respectful. All right, so we'll put these down again. And then we go to the Morgan Greer in that same position. And remember, I said that the Emperor card here reminds me a lot of the Justice cards, because it's about being objective. It's about seeing all sides. And then you have the Justice card with it. So again, being objective, being fair, seeing all sides. A judge, when they're judging a case, you ever watch Judge Judy? She's hilarious, but she listens, well, usually listens to both sides before she makes a judgment. She sees what, wants to hear the whole story here before I pass any judgment. And so this is what you're doing. Also, someone may be involved in the justice system, May you may have a legal situation you're dealing with, and I think you're trying to create stability in your life, and so yeah, you're trying to be a little bit more impartial. Then you have the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups, it shows that you want this. Uh-oh. Now I'm getting them all mixed up. Uh-oh. Where'd that one go now? I'm missing the card. Oh, there it is. My darn elbows. So it shows that you really want the situation or a partnership or a relationship or your family or whatever to be like that one beautiful golden cup. And this golden cup may be offered to you, possibility, okay? But there's something um like this is usually a disappointment card where we we are being offered lots of things, but that's not that thing. It's like picking an engagement ring. Yeah, there's lots of, but I want that one. And when we don't get one, are we disappointed? We don't get that one. Are we happy that we're getting engaged? Are we remembering the idea, the feeling, the why we're here, the what we're looking for? We're looking for a partner because we want happiness, we want companionship, we want love. But it's realizing what you have here, okay? And then the Ace of Swords. So, again, this is the second time that truth is needed in the situation. So, this is moving forward peacefully. This is a new beginning. This is with honesty and truth and peace. It's calm and peace, right? So, that's really what you're learning um, out of that situation. In the cartomancy, you start with the Six of Diamonds, the Queen of Diamonds, and the Four of Diamonds. So, in a way, this looks like a lot of communication as well. But I feel like there's because the Six of Diamonds is usually making more money, taking steps in your ambitions, what you're wanting to do with your life, life being a bit easier for you financially, also that looks like communications partnerships possibly. The Queen of Diamonds could be an older woman in your life. She could have gray or white hair, she could have green eyes or gray or pale blue eyes, but she's usually mature. She's over 50 at least, okay? And possibly a guide to you. This also could be you, Aquarius. And so I think there's an opportunity here for you to grow, expand in your security. But you need to think about it first. I think you need to think before you make a decision. I think you're doubtful, but I think that's coming from your past in a way because of things going wrong or something in the past. But this looks extremely positive and definitely a plus for you. And you could also be thinking, I'm just getting a real little feeling about traveling for some reason. You might be thinking of taking a trip, making a journey to maybe see this woman, perhaps, okay? Ten of Spades, Seven of Diamonds, and the Nine of Diamonds. So the Ten of Spades, this shows an ending. There was a barrier. There was a situation where you couldn't seem to get around. You couldn't conquer it. But so it ends. It ends. You walk away, perhaps, give up. And then it looks like I think you're wishing that there was a different outcome to the situation. I think that you wanted things to work out, to be happier. I think you saw it's kind of like that Four of Cups. You really saw that one beautiful, glowing, shining cup being offered by God there, but it didn't turn out that way. And so you were wanting things to be better. I think you're going to work to improve either yourself or the situation. Um, yeah. So I think this door that's closing is opening a new one or a different one for you. And I think it's an improved communication. I also think it's um you want to change something here. You want to change it completely around to what it was. I think also again you're doing well financially in some way, um, and you're improving your situation, definitely. Then above you, you have the three of spades, the five of spades, and the two of clubs. So the three of spades is an obstacle that leads to a loss. Okay, loss of a friendship, loss of a relationship, loss of a job. But I can see here that there's a meeting happen to talk and work things out. Okay, because there was an obstacle to the success of the situation, whether this was deception or not being fair on one side or the other. Somehow something went wrong. Even could have been third party interference, perhaps, not for sure, but it led to a loss. Okay. And now there's an opportunity to meet. This is a meeting to work things out, to talk things out, to manifest something different, to work on it. Yeah, there's the eight of clubs. So definitely nine of spades. Um, I think that you might get a phone call, a communication. Someone could be sick, ill, has a challenge. Maybe it's a mental illness. They might be struggling with depression or something like that, and you get a communication. And I think you answer it. I'm going to tell you, I think you answer it, and this is talking to work something out. You know, and this is after a communication of some sort. Um, you also could be getting an offer to help someone with an illness or work in a place that there's illness in some way or physical, mental struggle in some way. And so you could be signing a contract, an agreement. But yeah, so there's a communication here where you have to work something out. Now, this is how others are seeing you or influencing you. Wow. So, Jack of Spades, Queen, and King of Hearts. Okay. So Queen and King and Queen of Hearts looks like the lovers coming together. Okay, two people are just staring at each other. They're in love. They're pretty good couple, or they can see eye to eye very well. But there is trouble here. Okay, around this couple, either it's a kid who's in trouble, a kid who's causing trouble, or trouble in this union. They say, or it could be people might see, because this is how others are seeing it, seeing this could be trouble, this you two getting together or these two people getting together. I think that you or these two people care about each other big time, or in love or something, drawn to each other, soulmates kind of thing, but others see trouble, possible trouble in the union. Then in the foundation, you have the Jack of Clubs, the Seven of Spades, and the Ace of Hearts. So the Jack of Clubs is usually a young person that's a friend. This person could be a friend of yours that helps you through your tears. Okay. The Ace of Hearts is usually around your home, something that's gone on in your home that's made you cry. This also could be a young person. It could be someone friendly, someone dynamic, someone, they're usually a good person, but there's some sort of tears here. It could be in the communication and around the home. This also could be a family member, because that Ace of Hearts is here. And I think that there needs to be a new beginning. There needs to be a new beginning. Okay. One from love, one from your heart, not from your ego, not from your others' ideas of what it should be or shouldn't be. And then in the surprise, you have the Five of Diamonds, the Six of Clubs, and the Five of Hearts. This is beautiful. This is really good. So the two best fives, and these are changed for the better. So this is a change in your finances. You are going to gain financially. I think you're taking steps possibly in your business or what you're doing in your career. There's a chance for advancement, a chance where you'll be a leader in some way, maybe teaching, guiding. And this is something that you're going to love. You will receive a gift of some sort. Usually, the Five of Hearts is a gift. I think the opportunity itself is a gift to you because it tells you that people see you and respect you as what for your qualities and your skills that you have. That's one of the gifts for you. The other gift is that it's definitely sentimental. It doesn't have a lot of value. There's value in what you're getting here, but for you, there's another gift, which is something that really means a lot to you. It speaks volumes kind of thing for you. So I see something turning around here. I see a situation where there was fighting, you worried a lot about it, that fell apart in some way. Something went wrong here. And I think that you have tried to work on it, but there have been words that may have hurt or cut the other person. I think communication is one of the biggest issues in this situation. I think it's asking you to be gentle, to take a completely different approach, um, and look at what's another way you could manifest this? What's another way you can help promote growth in the situation? Trying to be more fair and objective, uh, showing mutual respect and fairness toward your partner, toward the other person. Um, and again, to approach this situation peacefully, peacefully. Because I think that's, and honestly, you're trying to be honest, and you want peace. You want to be fair. So this has a lot of promise. I think things that have been going wrong for you are starting to turn around, because I think that one of the big things is you're facing it honestly, and you're having a real look at yourself and at the situation, also trying to forgive and be fair. There's some sort of thing about being fair in a situation. Okay. So, geez, Aquarius, this looks really good. And it's kind of interesting, this big turnaround is happening in July, where we're entering our second half of the year, you know, and it's the other half of the medicine wheel. We are using our head, being wise, our ancient wisdom that we've gained so far in life to approach this situation, and also spirituality, bringing a new beginning, seeing the gift in it. All right, seeing the gift in it, because there is a gift here for you. All right, but I think it's when you lay down your weapons, when you lay down your defenses and you trust. Okay, I hope this helps in the month to come. I love you. and enjoy your summer or your winter, depending on where you are in the world. Take care. I will talk to you soon. Bye now.